Get ready to pull off an impossible effect that practically performs itself. Completely self-working, this trick works with any shuffled deck and never fails to impress. So grab a deck, hit subscribe for more confidence boosting tutorials, and let's dive in to the magic. Okay, so as ever, let's just kickstart by taking a look at the effect itself, a truly surprising discovery. And we're going to start with a shuffled deck. So just hand the cards to a spectator. They can shuffle those as much as they like. The cards really are mixed. Now we want the spectator to make a random selection. So you're just going to turn away from the cards so that you can't see anything. And we're going to ask the spectator to take the deck here and just to deal a random number of cards into a pile on the table. Not too many cards, say in between 5 and 15, but it's a totally free choice. Let's say in this instance they choose the number 12. Make sure they don't tell you that number, but they'll just deal that many cards to the table. So 12 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And of course, make sure they do that quietly so that you can't hear. And once they've dealt one pile, we're now going to ask them to deal a second pile exactly the same. So in this case, another 12 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And with that done, just to place the rest of the deck to the side. So with two random piles of cards on the table, we now want to start mixing things up a bit. So ask the spectator to take the pile that they've dealt on their right here and just to remove 3 cards. And this can be any 3 cards that they like. So 1, 2, 3. And once they've removed these cards, just to place these onto the pile on their left. Ask them now to take the remaining cards in the pile on the right here and just to silently count how many cards they have remaining. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. To remember this number and just to place these cards back onto the deck. This leaves the spectator with one random pile just here. Ask them to take this pile and now to remove a number of cards corresponding to the number of cards they've just returned to the deck. So in this case, obviously that will be 9 cards, and this really can be any cards that they like. So in this instance, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, again counting silently, and then to take these cards and just return these to the deck. Ask the spectator now to take the cards they have remaining just here and to shuffle these up, and they can shuffle these cards as much as they like. And once they're happy, just to take a look at the bottom card and to remember this as their selection. So here we can see in this instance the 4 of diamonds, and once they've remembered that card, just to place these cards back on top of the deck. At this point you can now turn back around towards the cards, reminding the spectator that you haven't seen or heard anything and they had a totally free choice of number. There's absolutely no way that you could know what number they selected, how many cards they dealt, or what card they selected. However, just to mix things up even further, you can give the deck another quick shuffle. Explain to the spectator that they selected a card with a random number. We're now going to see whether we can find their card with another random number. So you're going to ask the spectator to name another number. Not too big and not too small, say between 5 and 10 this time, but it's a totally free choice. Let's say in this instance they name the number 7. You're now going to count that many cards from the deck to the table. So that's 2 cards, plus 3 is 5, plus another 2 is 7. And we can take the top card, the 7th card here, and just place this to the side. At this point, you can just recap that from a shuffled deck, the spectator chose a random card at a totally random position. That card was then lost in the deck, and then using another random number, again entirely of their choosing, we've located and removed one single card. For the very first time, you can now ask the spectator to name their selected card. Of course, in this instance, it was the 4 of diamonds. And now you can reveal that this card right here just happens to be the 4 of diamonds. A super discovery that's also super easy to perform. So stick around because now I will show you exactly how it works. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect. Now you really do start with a shuffled deck. The spectator really can shuffle the cards as much as they like. It all adds to the impact. Now, as you turn away, you're going to ask the spectator to take the deck and to deal the pile of cards to the table. Now, they need to deal at least 5 cards here, so in the interest of time, you can say to deal between 5 and 15 cards. But it really is a free choice. Let's say in this instance they choose to deal 10 cards. And once they've dealt one pile, you'll now ask them to deal the second pile, again with exactly the same number of cards. So in this instance, another 10. Ask the spectator now to take the pile they've just dealt on their right, and from this pile to remove 3 cards. Now this can be any 3 cards, it really doesn't matter. So 1, 2, 3. And then to place these on top of the pile on their left. Ask them now to silently count how many cards that leaves in the pile on their right. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And to return these cards to the top of the deck. Ask the spectator now to take their remaining pile and from this pile to remove a number of cards corresponding to the number of cards they've just returned to the deck. So in this case, that would be 7 cards. And again, these can be any cards that they like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then to take these cards and return these to the top of the deck. Ask the spectator now to take their remaining cards here and to give these a shuffle, and they can shuffle these as much as they like. And once they're happy, ask them just to remember the bottom card as their selected card, so here we can see the Jack of Clubs, and once they've remembered that, then just to place these cards on top of the deck. Now at the end of that, the spectator's selected card is now the 6th card from the top of the deck. And at this point, if you like, you can perform some false cuts and shuffles of your choice, just to make it look as though things really are mixed. In the demonstration, I performed a simple overhand shuffle, and here's how that works quickly. So from the side here, you're just going to start by drawing off a small pack of cards which covers the top 6 cards at least, and the spectator's selected card, and then bring the larger pack down in front. Then gripping these 2 packets and keeping them separate, you're just going to shuffle off cards from the larger pack on the front until all of the cards are shuffled. Then you're just going to bring the smaller packet over and place it on top of the deck. You're now going to ask the spectator to choose a number between 5 and 10. It's a totally free choice, and no matter what number they choose, because of the position of their card, you're going to find it. So here I've just reversed the spectator's card, the 6th card from the top, to better illustrate how that will work. If the spectator chooses the number 5, you're going to count 5 cards from the top of the deck to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then take the next card, the spectator's selected card, and place this on the table. If the spectator chooses the number 6, you're simply going to count 6 cards to the table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, placing the final card to the side. If the spectator chooses a number 7, as in the demonstration, here's what you do. You start by counting 2 cards to the table, and then you take 3 cards, which makes 5, and then you count a further 2, which makes 7. You then take the top card from the counted cards here, and just place this to the side. If the spectator chooses the number 8, you're simply going to count 2 cards, plus 3 is 5, plus another 3 is 8, again placing the final card to the side. If the spectator chooses 9, you'll count 2 cards, plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 9. And finally, if the spectator selects the number 10, you'll simply count 2 batches of 5 cards to the table. So that's 5, 10, again placing the selected card to the side. Follow those steps and you'll find the selected card every single time. And there you have it. Remember, the real magic isn't in the method, it's in believing what's possible. Carry that mindset into life and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the magic alive.